Hello and welcome to SpaceEngine Exploration. So I just want to kick off this video by saying thank you guys for 6,000 subscribers. Really awesome. It seemed like just a week ago I was making a video about 5,000 and what a milestone that was. But I'm not going to really touch on too much on that, but I just wanted to say thank you guys. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So I've done some updates to my setup. I have a new chair that no longer squeaks. I'm very excited about that because throughout this entire series, throughout my entire channel really, I've just had this chair that's had this annoying squeaking problem. And on top of that, I also got a pop filter, so hopefully it doesn't really pick up my breathing and all that as much. So yeah, I'm very excited about like these new updates to my setup. Of course, I'm still too lazy to plug in my quiet keyboard and I'm still using my clicky one, but it'll never be perfect. So let's go ahead and get started on some suggestions. The first one is from Spudtato. Let's go ahead and copy this ID in, and let's paste it. Let's get rid of the question mark, and here we go. A warm terra with life in what looked like to be a spiral galaxy with an Earth-like moon. And some beautiful purple terrain. Let's go ahead and touch down. Tell immediately. Checks over there. Probably some type of planets. Ooh, this is a really bumpy planet as well. And it's got a river kind of going through, but it's not really low enough to have water, possibly? Not too sure, or that could just be the edge of two biomes. Can't really tell. Here I think we have some more pointy mountains. Which if we can catch up with the planet, which we have, now we're rotating with the planet. You can see that they are actually very well generated. And there's some gravel and a little bit of sand. But I'm not actually seeing the life texture. Oh, that's because it's marine life. It's not actually terrestrial life, so you can't see it. It kind of looks like it is life, though. Interesting. There's no description for this planet, so there's nothing to actually look for. It's kind of one of those dense, foggy planets, even though the atmosphere is pretty thin. Let's go ahead and touch down where the sun is kind of setting. Am I above land or water? I'm definitely above land. A lot of gravel, a lot of river rocks. And this beautiful kind of blue sky, very Earth-like. I assume the sunset will be as well. Basically looks like a sunset on Earth. Ah, there's the parenting star. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from It's Johnny Gat. And he says, it's a cool terra with rings and 3 asteroid moons. Let's go ahead and get this ID pasted in. And here we go. Look at that little tiny ring. Oh, there's actually another band over here too. It's just a lot more faint. Orange appearance, which tells me we're probably next to an orange dwarf or red dwarf. Red dwarf it is. Kind of in the center of a galaxy. As you see, the dust is pretty consistent except for that direction, so we're kind of in the center of a galaxy, and in fact I assume that is the central star cluster right over there. Very cool. Let's reset our field of view and touch down. Okay. Well, that was a pretty immediate touchdown. Looks like we got kind of a purple grass texture. And a lovely green atmosphere. And there is our red dwarf star. Seems to have a blue main sequence star selected. We got a hot Selena. and a hot desert over there. Okay, so let's see what else we actually have on this planet. Whoa, our field of view went a little bit crazy there. We got some rocky mountains with some ice peaks, a couple of snow caps, and a very tiled texture it looks like. You can kind of see the lines going through. And the snow is also very shiny. And down here we have a bunch of purple life. You can see here. Pretty cool to sit down at the bottom of this valley and actually get an idea of just how tall those mountains really are. If you increase your field of view, they look significantly taller. Oh. You can actually decrease the field of view so much that it actually culls the geometry of the terrain a little bit. Interesting. I'm not sure if there's really much else to see on this planet. We can check out the sunset, as it seems to be a kind of common standard thing to do for worlds like these. Oh, we actually have a volcano over here as well. Oh, you can actually see the rings on this planet now. They appear much more visible than they did from the outside. Interesting. But this is actually a much bigger ring. When you zoomed out, it looks much smaller, though. Yeah, it's much more visible through the atmosphere. It's just very faint. There's a good close-up. You can actually see the dust on the ring spinning around. Let's see if I can get it a little bit closer. I do have time moving, so they're actually just flying across the screen right now. But that kind of noisy effect is all the dust and particles, which is actually just kind of a grain texture, but a cool effect nonetheless. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next planet once again for Rich Johnny Cat. I'm for the paste. One moment. There we go. Let's get rid of that extra space at the end there. And here we go. Oh, it's part of the same system. Tidally locked world. With one moon. There's the moon right there. And it appears to be a Selena. So let's go ahead and touch down right under this storm. At least the edge of it anyways. Very cool looking. And it does have life, both marine and terrestrial, organic life in fact. And there's the parenting star, very close by. The temperature on this planet is 99 degrees Celsius. That's the average surface temperature. Of course, it's going to be much cooler on the side. That is always going to be dark because the planet is actually tidally locked. And as is typical with these pink worlds, the sunset is green. So the atmospheric composition is primarily nitrogen, just like our world. I don't know if carbon dioxide is more prominent than oxygen in our atmosphere, but I could be incorrect about that. I know nitrogen is the primary compound in our atmosphere though. In fact, I could actually just check that just by hitting Shift H 3 times. And no, oxygen is the secondary composition in our atmosphere, and the third one is actually argon. Let's go over to that cluster right there. Let's see if we can just center that. Whoops. Let's go back to the planet we were just on. And let's center our view with that star cluster there. Okay, so it should be centered now. Now let's just decrease the field of view so much that we get that star cluster around the black hole to load in. It's going to pop in very spontaneously. And we're not quite close enough to actually get that to render in. So let's just fly straight to it. And here we go. Ah, very cool looking. And what is the current time step right now? Looks like 1 hour per second, roughly. So, every hour you can see, or at least every second, is 1 hour, and that is how fast that black hole is spinning. Very cool. Let's go ahead and move this to real time. I think I could do that by just hitting this check mark. But you can actually see it is spinning pretty quickly. Very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and speed up time again. Get this thing spinning nice and fast. And let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Derp Sauce Gaming. And here we go, a red dwarf. Okay, that's pretty interesting. What is that? Oh, it's a gas giant. These are comet tails, apparently? Those are really interesting looking comet tails. There's a lot of them, so I'll give it that, but they look significantly different than what I'm actually used to seeing. Normally they just span across the entire system. These ones look much different. Interesting. A very cool system. I'm actually going to hold on this frame for just a moment because I actually want to make this the thumbnail of the video. I think, see, normally my thumbnails consist of like a look at a galaxy or a planet or something, but this is like a view I don't usually see. Just a ton of comets around a star. I think that's going to make for a very unique thumbnail. Anyways, it's a red dwarf in a quadruple star system and has a gas cloud around it. Due to many comets, comet gases are very different colors, for at least. Orange, green, tan, blue, cyan, tannish blue. So you basically just said orange, green, blue in variations. But what I'm seeing here is kind of a cobalt color with that, and a lot of orange. I'm not really seeing any green here, which is pretty color accurate. Yeah, it's looking like it's just mostly orange and blue from what I can tell. And there's a little spiral galaxy over there. And it looks like we're in an elliptical type galaxy, and there's the center of the galaxy right there. I can only assume that's probably the black hole. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's see. Go to the first moon of the fifth planet and set the time to... I don't know if I could just paste that in. I'll give it a try. Is there a fifth planet? I assume this is a planet. We go to the second moon. Go to the first moon. Okay. And set the time to... Let's see if I could actually do that. Let's pause the time and... Okay, so I think I have the time set correctly now. There's a gas giant. So... Did I just crash the game? Apparently I just crashed the game. Pretty sure this is the moon you wanted me to go to, but next time please specify that better by just giving me a direct idea of the moon. I'm gonna go ahead and retype this ID and hopefully my game won't crash this time. Okay, so I set the time properly. Oh, that one is green. That's very interesting. Also, I think we're in one of the elliptical galaxies around Andromeda. What is this? What are you? You are a weird asteroid making a green cloud. Looks done. Interesting. And there's the oranges. And there's that cobalt blue color. And I assume that's maybe a tan? I don't really know. But the green one is interesting. I don't think I've seen that before. Very strange. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion because I think I've spent enough time on this one. And there is a lot to go through. This next one is once again from Derpsauce Gaming. Let's go ahead and remove that space right there. And here we go. Same galaxy, different system. Okay, so I guess it's a pretty turn with Earth-like temperatures, a rotational period, and the same and some rings, with an ESI of 88%. Both suggestions have incredible views of Andromeda. Let's get a nice view of Andromeda, hopefully through these rings if I can pull that off without really changing the time step too much. I'm going to go ahead and reset the time to default. There we go. And let's see. Ooh, we got a pretty crazy comet going on over here. Where did Andromeda be? Right there. Down right here, we got a cool view of the rings and Andromeda. And there's a moon over there. In fact, it is a potato moon. Very cool. I think my field of view is default now, hopefully. So, let's go ahead and explore this planet. One of those very, very foggy terras, like the one we actually visited earlier in this episode. I see this pretty common. Really, or even see the true colors of the planet. Which this one's covered in sand with grass texture, it looks like. Let's go ahead and fly over here. We have some eroded mountains with some very interesting patterns running down the side of it. Very odd. Not too sure what else is really kind of unique about this. The atmosphere does not have any nitrogen, or at least not a significant amount, as the composition shows in the top left corner. And it's mostly CO2 and oxygen. The CO2 is probably the reason for this cloudy appearance, possibly? I'm not really too sure. It has a semi-major axis of 0.77 astronomical units, and a diameter a little bit smaller than Earth, 76% in fact. I don't think there's any other major factors. But, to be honest, my room's actually getting quite warm right now, so I'm gonna actually, take on my AC and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. But that'll be like a jump cut for you guys. Okay, so I am back. A little bit of a sidetrack there. Yeah, my PC is overclocked like crazy. Whenever I run this game, it heats up my room very quickly. Typically by the end of these recordings, I am dying because my room actually gets very warm. It's not like I'm running like any super crazy hardware. It's a 970 and an overclocked i5. But man, just turns into a heater once I start playing games like this one. Or, well, even consider this a game. We got a really lovely pink sunset on this planet, kinda, sorta. Yeah, that's just a very pretty view in general. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from, let's see. Yeah, so I'm actually just going to answer a question here. Alberto Martinez asks, how much does SpaceEngine cost? Yeah, I would like to get it. A lot of people already answered this question, but for anyone who's actually new to the series, or just new to SpaceEngine in general, the game is actually completely free. You can get it from the link down in the description of every single one of these videos, and it only takes around 1.5 gigabytes or something like that. It does take up a little bit more space as you start exploring more things, because it actually caches a lot of the procedurally generated areas. But yeah, it's completely free. The Steam version, 9.8.1, which is not out yet or not accessible currently, I think is going to have a $15 price tag on it, which is, I mean, admittedly, kind of good price for it. But I think the current version and previous versions will always be free, so you can totally download that from the website, completely free. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the suggestion, which is from Emra Cool. I think that's how that's pronounced. Let's go ahead and copy this ID and paste it in. Let's get rid of that question mark. And here we go. A white supergiant. Oh, very cool. I think this is a Wolf-Rayet star, possibly. No, just blue main sequence star and a white supergiant. An interesting little system. Oh! Other surprises that I should know about anywhere? Nebulas all around, but yeah, hello. Now, what's actually kind of interesting about this dying star right here, next to this supergiant here, next to this blue main sequence star right here, is that those are casting so much light that it's actually illuminating a star. I've shown this before in previous videos, but I always find that a really cool effect, that those are so bright, they're lighting up a star. Just wrap your head around that for a moment. But this is a red luminous supergiant and will probably explode in a wonderful supernova. And is that an open star cluster over there? More than likely. These galaxies, these ones in particular, the irregular galaxies, tend to spawn a lot of nebulas. That one kind of looks like the Crab Nebula. Let's go ahead and default our field of view before we crash our game. Anyways, the diameter of this is 24 astronomical units. I believe that it's about the distance between Earth to Uranus, if I'm correct. It might be Neptune, but Earth, no, the Sun to Uranus. That's pretty far. That's a big diameter on the star, and it's also very oblong as well. It's not actually a perfectly round shape. Very cool. Is there any description on this? Nope, just a neat set of stars. And I have to say, it certainly is, and that is just very cool. And here we are, landing on a star. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from No Name James. Let's go ahead and copy that ID. And here we go. It's part of the same system as the last suggestion I did, but this looks cooler. It's a frozen ice giant and bigger and cooler rings than the last one. Can't say I recall the last one, that was over a week ago, but that. Okay, so we got a binary star system. Is it just a binary or is there more? System inside of a what looks like spiral type galaxy. Not seeing any other galaxies in the sky. And really, we don't have any gas giants in our system that are comparable to this one in appearance. It's kind of like Uranus with Saturn's rings almost. And that's a little asteroid moon. Is there any actual large moons orbiting on this? Is this one we're at? Ah, it is. It just looks a lot brighter than that preview. Okay, so we actually have a frozen iceberg with disco craters. Very cool. This is when an impact actually hits a planet and ejects a bunch of material outwards. And it's got a lot of them. I think they just look a little bit absurd in this game. Our moon does actually have craters just like these, but they're not nearly that contrast and visible. And over here we have, I think, a similar looking planet. Significantly less disco craters. And there's the gas giant right over there. Let's go to this very, very far out moon. It might be off axis, we might get a good view of the rings. If I can figure out what the gas giant is. There it is. No, it's actually very on axis with the rings as well. Turn off real planet brightness and get a real idea of what this planet's colors are. Oh, so it's actually like a kind of bright purplish color. It's not a very saturated color, but it is faintly purple. Or vibrantly purple. Let's go ahead and turn back on real planet brightness. And let's move on to the next suggestion, which is from Obeyed Sphere Japine. It's just a beautiful planet with an awesome view, no further description, no suggestions on what to do with the planet, where to go. So we'll do the standard. And paste this in. It is a temperate terra with life, marine and terrestrial, in a purple spiral type galaxy. And, oh, look at that. Look at that little storm right there. Hurricane that just kind of failed. There's also a very cool looking hurricane right here. And there's a nebula, and there is something that looks a lot like Andromeda, and I do believe is Andromeda. In fact, that remnant right there tells me that we are in Triangulum. Anyways, let's go ahead and make sure our field of view is default, get that off our screen, and let's touch down on this planet. So let's go ahead and make sure we have the information up in the corner here. The compositions are CO2 as the primary composition in this atmosphere, very thin atmosphere as well, nitrogen, and then oxygen following behind that. So, not a very detailed life texture, it's just kind of that quote-unquote generic one. We got some winded sand. Actually, a kind of typical thing you see on Terras. This is like probably the most frequent type of Terra. Really love the view of Andromeda, seen like behind this. To look up what that nebula is in Triangulum. I think it might just be a supernova remnant. I don't see how we would actually be able to see this giant nebula. This giant nebula from our Milky Way here in Triangulum like that. Of course, I think the next one of those quick videos is probably going to be Triangulum. Spoiler alert. I did have that one suggested a couple times. And yeah, I think it'd be a really cool video to make. And I haven't actually made one of those in a while. In fact, to be honest, I've been kind of slacking a little bit lately. But, like I said, real life gets in the way and just don't really have the the time, unfortunately, and this isn't like my primary job or anything, so if it was, I would probably be a little more focused on this. Anyways, a really cool planet, and a really nice view. Let's see if we can get a nice view of... There we go. Really nice view of, like, just everything all in one painting here. If you guys want a nice desktop wallpaper, pause the video here, go full screen, and get yourself a nice screenshot of that. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, once again from Obeyed Sphere J. Pine. See if I can copy this without copying that period at the end there. Paste that in, and the ID failed because I forgot to copy the RS at the beginning. Fix the ID, and here we go. Temperature with life in a cool little galaxy here. My field of view is still too high. Okay, so we're at the outer edge of a galaxy. It looks like 2 stars there. The galaxy, I just kind of flipped the camera. So we got some cool polar caps, some rings, I think. Yeah, we do have rings. It's very faint. And what looks like purple life. Green and terrestrial. The atmospheric composition is carbon dioxide and oxygen following that. What is this? Oh, it's a mountain range with some snow caps on it. And a lot of dark purple life in between. Let's go ahead and touch down on the road here. So we have some cracked earth. Some cracked mud, rather. I just refer to it as earth because it's dirt. And a type of plant life that I cannot actually identify. Now it looks like it's a treetop texture blending with the sand or mud or cracked earth. That I can't quite tell what that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over here where it's probably a nice flat patch. Okay, so that is kind of that treetop texture. And the other color, the darker one, over here, is kind of weird. Looks like forest floor or shovel or something like that. Can't really tell. Sure, my field of view is defaulted. Let's go ahead and zoom out and get a nice view of this galaxy. So I don't think there's any galaxies around here. It seems like it's just kind of lonely. Its nearest neighbor, or major neighbor, looks like it's this one right over here, which is NGC 3104, so we are actually in a region of catalog galaxies. Very cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Galactic Hun. So I just checked how long I've been recording for, and I would like to apologize in advance, but I just overlooked how many, or I just looked at how many suggestions I actually have for this video, so I think we're going to be going a little bit faster. So let's go ahead and check out this first planet. So it's a cool terra with large ice caps and pink life. Oh. That is a beautiful world. Orbiting around another terra with no life. So there's the other one. Wow, that is very beautiful. I love the cyan color mixed in with like the purple. That is a really cool effect, I must admit. It's an amazing looking planet, and if you guys want to visit yourselves, the ID is always in the top left corner. So we got just kind of a grass texture, so we have like a purple grass just kind of dominating this entire planet, it looks like. Blue galaxy, possibly? Is that just a comet tail? No, this is actually a blue galaxy as well. another galaxy over there. Yeah, it's like a really cool looking little marble or something like that. And we got this lovely glowing volcano here. Very nice. Anyways, let's go ahead and zoom out. Got the large ice caps as well. And a line of hurricanes around the rear of the planet. Oh, and the star as well does actually have something that is burning away, making a long comet tail throughout the system. Very nice. Let's go ahead and check out this other Terra that it's partnered with. Yeah, not too much else to see here. And there's no life on it as well. It's kind of the standard kind of bluish terrain Terra that you normally see with a thick foggy atmosphere. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, once again from Galacticon. This one is a Terra orbiting pretty close to its parent gas giant. Paste in that ID. And it's also totally locked. One Terra in the system. Oh, in the system there's also a totally locked one Terra. Okay. Well, it's apparently very close to it. Ah, there it is. I think I've seen closer. But no, that's actually relatively close. I've seen some that scrape along the rings themselves. But compared to all of its other moons, as you can see, it's quite close to it. So let's go ahead and zoom right back in. So this one's just a very, very vibrant purple world. Organic multicellular life. And we got some canyons right here. Oh, the life is actually green and not purple. The atmosphere is just very deceiving. And my room is already warming right back up again. Oh man. I need to do something about that. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Because anything that I could do about my computer heating up my room basically just means downgrading my computer to something more efficient. So, that kind of sucks. But, yeah, very nice looking world. It almost looks like some kind of stone or something. Like a marble with a moss growing in it. And there's the parenting star, making the snow on this mountain here look very, very shiny. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is Sharfie Lima. A very cool gas giant, check it out. Okay, that one's looking a little bit psychedelic. Got a pink gas giant here with a kind of oblong shape to it. Binary star system. In a rather small galaxy spiral. And does it have bumpy clouds? I think it does. It kind of has bumpy clouds. Not really too big of an effect there. From the outer atmosphere here. It's pink glow. Wonder if that's green if we go to the sunset side, like the terrestrial worlds. I think it's gonna be. Yep, it is actually green. Very cool. So, is there any actual major moons actually orbiting around this? Oh, the gas giant itself actually has. Oh no, it has a moon of life, which is this Terra right over here. Polar ice caps has that kind of generic blue color to the terrain. The kind of basic Terra that you see in this game very commonly. It's got a cracked mud texture and a purplish appearance in the atmosphere once you actually touch down. You can see it kind of fading over there. Oh, and there's the 2 stars. Very neat looking. Gas giant. Ah, there it is. Even from within the atmosphere, it still has a very vibrant pink color. What is that dot? What are you? Ah, there you are. And you can see the little asteroid just orbiting around it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Mr. Star Wars. We got the ID copied. Open the wrong thing. Paste that in. Close this. And here we go. Organic multicellular life, marine and terrestrial. Above what looks like the Andromeda Galaxy. I think. No, that's not Andromeda. I think that's just a random general galaxy. We're just in a star cluster. Let's go ahead and touch down right here. And you can see all these bright, very close by stars just all over the place in the night sky. Makes for a very, very, very pretty view, and you got this blue glowing world up there as well. So it's a Terra with a high atmosphere and an Oceania moon. Should find some life on this planet, which would be right over here. It looks like green life. We have a lighter color and a darker color there. The terrain itself is looking relatively flat though. Standard life texture. Not really identifiable, it's just kind of a mossy mess of life. And some kind of forest roofing going on there. Looks like a bunch of jungle, like large trees. They're making like a jungle roof, viewed it from like a satellite image or something like that. And we got that same texture just kind of blended in with some gravel, it looks like. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out the Oceania moon if we can. Ah, there it is. Ooh, we do actually have rings too. So there's nowhere to land, of course, because this is a world completely covered in water. And that is a hurricane sitting in a sunset, giving it a very, very dark and ominous appearance. Very neat looking. But as you can see, it is actually rotating around the planet, and it's actually getting more and more illuminated as it gets in the sunlight, and that is a very, very bright comet. Or that might just be a planet burning away. So, we're on like the outer edge, but we're also above the galaxy. In this globular star cluster. I think this is the galaxy texture with, oh no it's not. But we could sit right over here, in this very faint area where there's actually a pocket of stars. Go over to one of these stars, possibly find a planet on it, go over to this planet, and get a really cool view of the outskirts of this galaxy. Very neat. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, because we gotta kind of rush through these. Try to be as, like, brief as I can be. Okay, so it looks like a frozen titan. Colorful. Regular galaxy? Am I in a nebula in a regular galaxy? I am. That makes for a really cool effect I don't think I've actually seen before. Just go into something that looks like the Crab Nebula inside of an irregular galaxy, and it makes a beautiful cloudy sky that you would see in a sci-fi movie and be like, oh no, 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 that just, it looks like their art style in the sky, it just looks like it's completely overkill. There wouldn't be that many objects in the sky. Well, this is a very beautiful world, and that is a very beautiful purple atmosphere, and I think that might be a red dwarf star, orange dwarf. So, the colors here are just amazing. beautiful view. Oh, it's a frozen titan in the middle of a nebula in an irregular galaxy at the edge of this box-shaped universe. Very cool. Anyways, that was from Michael BFD to Wong, I think is how that's spelled. Really nice suggestion. I don't think I've actually seen anything like that before. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Gray Pit. And it's a frozen titan in the large magellanic cloud. Look in the sky nearby. Whoa, G64, not the parent star. It has a lens flare effect almost 3 light years away. So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about WOH G64. I think that is a blue luminous supergiant, or it could be a Wolf Riot star. Is that it? I don't think that's it. That, as you can see, when I very slowly move the camera, you can see it's actually moving on a grid. Distant objects do that in this game. They just do it so slow, or they do it at such a far distance that you can normally tell, or you normally can't tell. Like this star over here, where my cursor is doing that, and so is that galaxy probably. Well, it's doing that, but the thing is, it is so bright. Huh, when I clicked on it, it actually turned into a lens flare. But it's a red supergiant, actually. And what's cool about this star is, if we go over to our Milky Way, the star itself, if we go ahead and zoom in, is actually visible from our Milky Way, and that's why we actually know about it. So, very cool. There's also another star, which is over here in this bright section, which is actually a Wolf Riot star. And that would be R136A1, I believe. Yep. Nice. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from the Interstellar Storm 4180. And I can't see the paste ID. One moment. There we go. Ooh, kind of a nice dark blue appearance. Almost looks like it doesn't even have an atmosphere. Did I turn off atmospheres? No, that's what it looks like without an atmosphere. Alright, let's go ahead and fly past these white and orange rings. There's that galaxy looking at us over there. An orange dwarf. And let's go ahead and zoom in and see what we can see over here. The life texture we're used to seeing. Standard blue, kind of Earth-like looking atmosphere. Go ahead and reselect the planet. Okay. So it's a Terra with a bit of land and rings. And that's about it. Just a Terra with rings. And with that ring, the galaxy's staring at us. And there's the star's reflection in the rings, which looks very cool. So we can go over to where the shadows are. You get a nice view of the dark sky in this band of rain. See, wouldn't this be so cool if Earth actually had rings to be able to see views like this? It would make a lunar eclipse not seem so special. But it still would be. Why are you so bright? Why are you moving so quick? You're only moving quick because, ooh, that is cool looking. You're only moving quick because the long planet ball is actually spinning. red supergiant right there. 47 astronomical units. That is greater than the distance between the Sun and Pluto in diameter. Quite a bit further distance, in fact. What is that? Galaxy still looking at us over there. An elliptical type galaxy, or a globular cluster. Globular cluster sitting inside this galaxy that is colliding with that galaxy with that other spiral galaxy hanging out over there. And you see 4018. Very cool. So let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which looks like it's also in a globular cluster, judging by the RSC at the beginning. And here we go. It's a cool looking Terra with two rings. One with a yellow tint and the other with a blue tint. Is it? Oh, no. Wait. No. What? I assume you mean this. Oh, the rings. Right. Looks almost purplish on my screen. We got the yellow tint and the kind of purplish tint, not really a bluish tint on my screen. Looking at my other screen, it's almost kind of bluish, so just kind of says how coordinated my two screens are. Color calibration, I don't even. People always question why I get like the colors wrong on some planets. Well, that's what I'm working with. I don't have a professional grade screen or really anything that's actually expensive. They're both kind of budget screens. But we have a cool kind of neon green grass texture here, a purple atmosphere. The parenting white main sequence star, yellow dwarf. That is a yellow dwarf. That is very white. And I don't know if there's actually very much to see on this planet. Just the kind of uniquely colored rings here. And this really awesome view of this galaxy. That globular cluster right there. Just look at that view. Without the major field of view distortion that I added to that. Actually, let's turn up the exposure a bit. That gets that galaxy looking crazy. It's like a crazy dubstep remix thing. And reset that and move on to the next suggestion. Okay, so sites and W says visit any black hole with the prefix XTE. Most of the time it's going to be a black hole with a star next to it. And it's going to be distorted. Black hole. Very set this to real time and get an idea of how fast this is actually spinning. This is real time. That is a fast accretion disk. If we were probably sitting right about here, we'd be dead, and not just because of that. But when you look at this star, whoa. Oh, that is pretty crazy looking. And I assume that's just the pole of a black hole or something like that. It said pretty much any of these would be crazy like this. Black hole, star. Looks like a big egg. Next one. Black hole. Not as edgy. Very cool. Actually understand why these are egg-shaped. If anyone can explain in the comments, I'd be glad to read that. But this is outside of my current knowledge, and I assume it's the force of the black hole on the star itself causing crazy egg shape. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Ocean Jack. So Kepler 66 is actually fun. Let's go. It's got a scorched desert sitting next to a star, which is kind of like every Kepler planet. Typically it's either going to be a gas giant or a super Earth of some kind. What kind of planet that we can actually observe anyways. And I can only assume that it's going to be basically hell down here. There's like the hellish sky layer right there, that red layer. And you fly through a bunch of various cloud layers just to see this incredibly bright star fly out of a plume like that. Matter that's just being shoved away, the atmosphere cooking off from the planet. Anyways, let's check out the next one from Oshi Jack. Perhaps this one. And my game crashed. I don't think this is just a binary system. I thought I saw a third star. Ah yeah, in fact it's a 4-star system. Pretty cool. So let's see what we got actually orbiting around these things. No planets. No additional planets. So I guess there's not really too much to observe. It's a bunch of yellow dwarfs it looks like. I don't think there's any other types of stars here. Ah, those are 2 white main sequence stars, the other 2 are yellow dwarfs. Let's see how they actually orbit. Let's speed up time a bit. That's the best way to observe it would probably be sitting next to 2 of them. Better observe from there. Let's turn down the exposure a bit. These 2 are orbiting very close to each other. These ones are actually kind of far from each other. Is what's going on. Pretty nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion from Deck Bureau. And I failed to copy the rest of that ID. Let's put a 4 there. Nope. There we go. Orange giant, binary. Let's default time and reset it. So an orange giant. Ooh, with a protoplanetary disk. Maybe not protoplanetary disk, but it does have a ring of rocks and various other things. Asteroids, possibly small dwarf planets, and other crazy goodness. There is no description on this system. What is this other thing? A blue main sequence star. So I don't see anything with life, but we do have a couple of large gas giants and a scorched Oceania here. Oh, and it's in this system. Okay. Purplish appearance here. By the way, I'm not actually listening to the music as it plays in the game, so I'm hoping it's not overpowering my voice. But it is still playing in the background, so hopefully my settings are nice and balanced out. Very nice, we got kind of a purple world here. Ooh, look at that beautiful globular cluster in the sky. Very nice. I think this game makes for some really awesome wallpapers, I would say. Very clean looking. Anyways, let's check out the next suggestion, which is from Deck Bureau again. Where's that Bureau? Ah, that still worked. Ooh, Carbon Star. Don't see those very often. There's the Carbon Star right there. They always look very cool. this really cool red appearance as well. And everything around here is just heated up to crazy temperatures, except for this world. You see the thermal emission shift, which is that red glow even on the dark side. It's just the heat of the planet giving it a faint glow. Very nice. Over here we have a temperate desert sitting at 13 degrees Celsius. Not really a greenhouse affected atmosphere. No binary system, so we can see another planet in the sky as well. Check that out. Nice view of the galaxy, and we have a little bit of light being casted, which would be a wonderful sunset. Very nice. The next one is from Namikaze. Telling me to visit Tau Tori. Or was it Tari? I don't know. I'm not seeing it. There it is. Look at that. There's Pleiades over there, viewed from a different angle than we are used to seeing it. And we're quite close to it, which means we're actually quite close to the Orion Nebula. So what is this? What is this dot right here? It's a hot Selena. Ton of moons. Look at how many moons this Selena has. Jeez. Look at how many moons this thing has. Jeez. No, I don't even. That's also a very, very bright star. I assume it's a blue luminous star, which by nature, no, it's white main sequence star. Blue stars are typically by nature just very bright, hence all these very, whoa, what have I done? Hence all these very, very bright stars over here in the Pleiades cluster. Yep, most of these are blue giants and blue main sequence stars, giving this cluster a very beautiful blue effect. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out the next one, which is Epsilon Tauri b, once again from Namikaze. Epsilon Tauri b, which is right here. A hot gas giant. Actually a pretty good distance from the star, in comparison to like the Kepler ones, for example. Discovered via radial velocity. Interesting. And you see there is some crazy solar winds being casted by this, and a much more standard view of Pleiades that we are actually used to seeing, so this must be a very close by star. And there's the cool solar wind effect in the game. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Andromeda. And here we go. Scorched Ice Giant. Going on here. You got an oblong-shaped ice giant at the kind of center of this irregular galaxy. I think that's the central cluster over there, possibly. And what is that? What are you? A big... Oh wait, that's a brown dwarf, isn't it? Interesting. We got this gas giant with a comet tail around a blue star, or possibly a white main sequence star. Blue main sequence star. In the center of a beautiful blue galaxy. And there's that brown dwarf that I lost track of. Very neat. Ah, there's the brown dwarf. Really nice color to it as well. It's being illuminated by the star over here. Ooh, look at that scorched sun right there. Ah, look at that. Look at that. Wait, freeze frame. Look at how bright this little asteroid is reflecting, which by the way, this asteroid is molten in fact, is lighting up the backside of this planet because that star is so bright right there. Take a moment just to take that in. That is really cool. And another really awesome desktop wallpaper. As Andromeda's suggestions tend to be. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Once again from Andromeda. It is a 1 tera. I just landed like straight on this planet. Very bright tera. And a star with a bit of a comet tail thing going on there. So, kind of got that blue life. No actual life on it, or not life. Blue terrain, there's no life on this planet though. This beautiful, what is this? Is it just a nebula? Or is this the galaxy itself? It's a nebula. Is it a supernova? No, it's just a fuse. In the center of an elliptical type galaxy colliding with a spiral type galaxy. Okay. Very cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Stellardrone. What's that ID in? And it's in a purple galaxy. Not way too far away. Very far away, of course. Ah, is that Andromeda right there? That is Andromeda. What is this? It's supposed to be triangular or something. Ah, yep, there's that big nebula right there. That must be like a large dwarf. It certainly is. This is a Selena. This is a Selena sitting in triangulum with a little asteroid moon. And there's Andromeda. Let's go ahead and land on this asteroid moon. And if you haven't seen a Selena in this game, then, I think you need to explore this game a little bit more, because there's actually a lot of Selenas. Yeah, I think they're actually probably the most common planet in the game. Shockingly enough. Outside of maybe gas giants, but there's various different kinds of gas giants. You never really seem to find in Selenas. His life. Maybe separation. But those are two very nice words. Let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Random Wenzel. Let's get this ID copied. It's a terra of many different colors, and a large desert moon nearby. Oh, that's actually not too far off from your suggestion, Powerland. Very cool. And it's a really neat little binary system with a desert here. And what I get almost a blue terra there. And I think that is a brown profile in the distance as well. Yeah, it certainly is. It's a really cool view. This is gonna be like a wallpaper special or something like that. I had a really neat view of these planets. Let's go ahead and touch down on this Terra of Life, which is strikingly close to this desert. Like, I would say that's probably dangerously close, and this Terra here actually has purple life. Okay, so we got some kind of gravel going on, nice blue atmosphere. Very neat. And then there's a large volcano. And there's a supernova, or whatever that might be in triangle. Oh, it's a bugged out volcano too. I wonder if the new 9.8.1 is actually going to fix the bugged out volcanoes. I have my doubts. Seems like it's a major shader update more than anything. UI, kind of just getting the game ready for Steam kind of update. Not really many significant changes to the actual terrain generation. But let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from the X, who I think, nope, they're not the last. Let's go ahead and copy this idea. It's a Titan with both organic and exotic multicellular life. Let's get this idea pasted. Life is also subglacial, terrestrial, and marine biomes. Oh wow, look at all that life on there. Subglacial, marine, terrestrial. This is admittedly the most life I've ever seen on a planet before. Never seen like this thing ever have a string that long in the value there. That is something completely new to me, so it definitely got me there. What is that? What are you? Some kind of cluster. Open cluster possible? And it's also very, very bright Titan as well. Beautiful. We also got a nice kind of baby blue color to the atmosphere. And there's some of the ice, I can only presume, which is this bright blue color. And you can even see like cracks in the ice and stuff. Very neat. Go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is once again from the X. Go ahead and paste this ID in. Here we go. Terra Moon with atmospheric composition similar to Earth's. No argon. In fact, I don't actually see argon in the atmospheric composition on most planets. Just figured I'd point that out. That seems to be like an Earth trait right there. Let's go ahead and touch down on this beautiful purple and blue / green planet. And a bonus, there's an awesome view of a nebula. Not seeing the nebula yet. Got these beautiful rings though, check that out. Neat. Oh. That is actually a really cool view of a nebula. Huh. Normally they're not that detailed. And here's a cyclone. This is a really awesome view of the nebula. Let's see if we can get a nice terrain view of it right here. Check that out. More wallpapers, I guess. Let's get one without the planet involved. There we go. Very neat. So let's see. This one's from GeoPlayer123 -geometry / Minecraft with a Kappa face as their avatar. Go ahead and check out HIP 20485. 4th planet. And fix our field of view. Smack right into the planet. So we got this beautiful planet. It has a really, really dark green appearance. My field of view seems to still be quite high. And we are orbiting around an orange dwarf, it looks like. Neat. And a lot of snowy mountains. The life textures on this planet consist of something I really can't identify, to be honest. It's kind of just green. Not really any detail to the life texture on this planet at all. That's a bit odd. Dark portion, like over here. In the daylight where we can see it nice and well. Yeah, can't quite tell. I like the red rocks though, contrast with that nice like dark green. It has a really cool appearance to it. Move on. Oh wait. So this Terra with life is a little bit chilly. tropic. It is at negative 14 degrees, so it is a really cool planet actually. Relative to Earth, it's actually about 30 degrees cooler. Has 4 asteroid moons, 1 visible from the planet, which is that one right there. Let's just touch down right on this ice cap and see if we can actually view that asteroid moon, wherever it might be. Is that it? I think so. There it is. I can't really see it. Oh, wait, I'm underwater. That's probably why. Is that it? There it is. You can faintly see it right there, but there's the asteroid moon. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, once again from GeoPlayer123. Paste that in, and make sure I get that 3 at the end there. And here we go. Ooh, very bright world. It's also got this really cool cloud pattern on it as well. Let's just touch down right here in the center of these mountains. Got this really nice cloud pattern here as well. In an elliptical type galaxy with a spiral type galaxy colliding. And it looks like we have 2 stars. Different angles, as you can see here. Go to where this dim star is. Look at that red fade from the other star. Very neat. It's like having a sunset, but the sun is out. Pretty cool. Oh, look at that. That's a nice actual color there too. So this is close to Andromeda. Second suggestion, I honestly wouldn't really recall that. See, a lot of people kind of reference previous videos or the episode before. It's like, I'm getting upwards of 100 videos now. I've probably visited well over 1,000 suggestions at this point. Yeah, definitely well over 1,000, so it's hard for me to keep track at this point. It's so difficult. But this is a really neat looking planet, and it's a cool galactic collision. Let's see if we can zoom out here. And give you guys that neat little view right there. Let's go over to the next suggestion once more from Spud Tato, who actually had the first suggestion in this video, if I do recall right. Let's go ahead and paste that idea, and let's go. I also think this might be the last suggestion in this video. I could be wrong. I will double check, hopefully. And there's actually a bunch of small blue worlds floating around this. Blue main sequence star. Okay, so we have this scorched desert right here, sitting at 755 degrees Celsius as the average surface temperature, so very, very molten hot desert. Inhospitable. No chance of ever surviving on this planet. And I think that's the star. No, that's just a planet in the sky. Where would the star be? Oh, I guess we're beyond sunset here. Ah, there's the Pennington star. You could barely see anything past all this crazy light. Interesting. These burning hot clouds on the backside, where it's not red. Very crazy. Imagine if we had a world like that in our solar system. Of course we have Venus, but it's just not this. This is worse than this. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next suggestion, which is from Kathy Rowland. The suggestion I accidentally skipped over, so let's go ahead and copy this. actually think I'll skip somebody else as well. Man, this video is just never ending at this point. This is gonna probably be a 2-hour video. HIP22B is not working. I could try to do that and type this in like this, and it's not actually coming up, so it might not be cataloged. From what I'm done. Yeah, not cataloged, so unfortunately I can't visit that. But I will visit Omega Centauri, which I do think is cataloged. Oh, no. That's not going either. What if I just try this? No, I think that's it. Might be up here. Omega Sun. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. And here we go. That is a globular cluster, I think, of the Milky Way. I know this is like a globular cluster we're very familiar with. I think this is like the closest super large globular cluster to our solar system, if I'm right. Ah, yes, there is the Carina Nebula. We hit Shift H a few times. I just landed on a black hole, I think. Ah, there's the sun over there. So it's like a very, very big globular cluster. In fact, would it actually be visible from Earth? Because I've seen Omega Centauri in previous suggestions. I think we've definitely been there before. I think that's Omega Centauri. No, that's a planet. Where is Omega Centauri? Would it actually be like super visible from Earth? There it is. Ah, yes. It is there. But it looks like SpaceEngine kind of de-renders it. But as you can see, if I just increase the magnitude a bit, you see it's actually a pretty big object in our night sky. In fact, it's probably about as big as the moon, to be honest. Probably just can't see it from, like, land? No, we probably could. It would just take a very long exposure that we don't normally have. Like a star in our sky or something like that. But my game did just crash. Okay, so I'm back for a 50th time. And we're going to go to the last suggestion, which is from Sebi Trains. Which, I'm sorry I skipped over your suggestion. I just kind of scrolled up the page and overlooked a bunch of them that I thought were just normal comments on the videos, not actually suggestions. My mistake. But it has big polar ice caps. And there's the Orion Nebula. And it's HIP 71 2. The planet from it. So, because the most cool view of 2 evaporating planets, the comet tail even reaches the planet. I want you to see, it's so cool looking. The star is a sub-dwarf too. Oh, there's the comet tails. So, if we perhaps get this system spinning, we might pass through the comet tails. Speed up time. Ooh. See that red fade? Ah, yes. And the planet just got impacted with a ton of material. Very awesome. Let's go ahead and go to the parenting star here. Why did that fade red? Probably just planet blocking the block. But I think on that note, we're going to end the episode here. Hopefully the next one will be a bit shorter. I think that just means I probably need to get around to recording these more often. But I've been busy. I'm sorry. I am very tired, so I'm probably not going to be uploading this today. I'm probably going to be uploading it tomorrow, but if you guys like the video, please subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.